Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. And this question, we're still going to have homogeneous firms. And what we're going to do is we're going to consider a change in both fixed and marginal costs and see what happens. So suppose that we start from one market, just home, and it's going to have market size S, marginal cost C, a preference parameter B, and a fixed cost given by F. Okay, and so now what we're going to assume is that some great discovery is made, allowing us to divide the fixed cost by 4. And what we're going to ask is we're going to ask what happens to the number of brands available to consumers. And we're also going to think what is going to happen to the number of brands if instead the innovation doesn't affect the fixed cost, it affects the marginal cost. Instead, it's going to divide C by 4. And so to answer these questions, again, we're going to move back to the equilibrium expression of the number of firms. And so as F becomes F over 4, then the new number of firms, if it was just given by the square root of SBF, now we plug in for F divided by 4, and you can notice that the 4 is going to flip up into the numerator, and then obviously 4 is the square of 2. So what we have is that the 2 is going to come out, and we should have square root of S, 2 times the square root of S over B. And so then, of course, we had S square root of S over BF initially, and so now the new number of firms is equal to double the number of firms that were there initially. Okay. However, a decline in the marginal cost is not going to affect the number of firms. It's only going to decrease the equilibrium price. And you can see that because note that if you go back to the equation that sort of defines the number of firms, that's equal to saying that firms are earning 0 profits, or alternately that price is equal to average cost. Well, then you note that if you just look at the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the first equation, well, the C's are just going to cancel out. And so the number of firms isn't going to depend on the number of, the marginal cost. And so it's only going to increase the equilibrium price, which now, if C gets divided by 4, then all we can compare is just the new price compared to the old price. And obviously C is smaller than C, obviously C divided by 4 is smaller than C, and so the new price is now lower than the old price, but the number of firms is the same.